Welcome back here for the Common Game. Today in deck number 942, we're going to talk about Harbin, the Vanguard Aviator. But first, we're going to give a big shout out to all of our patrons. Thank you so much. Well, thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, and all that stuff. But the patrons have taken that extra step to make sure that I can stay on the air. Appreciate y'all. And also our partners over at Dragon Shield. They have partnered with the channel, and this deck is in Dragon Shield Sapphire Mat. So you can find those at your friendly local game store anywhere in the world. But let's talk about Harbin, because it's been a while since I've built some tribal soldiers now. So it's white-blue for a 3/2 flyer. Now that right there is just an awesome curve. It's just an awesome card by itself. Whenever you attack with 5 or more soldiers, creatures you control gain +1/+1 and flying till end of turn. So it has its own anthem built in. It makes your guys sprout wings. I mean, it's awesome, right? So let's look at what we've got here. Now, I have a little bit of ramp. It's not a lot. It's more color fixing than ramp per se, because it's soldiers. We don't have anything that really takes a whole lot of mana. These are not giant casting cost cards, but we have Wayfarer's Bauble, Soul Ring, Talisman of Progress, Azor's Signet, Mind Stone, and the Commander Sphere. Like I said, not really ramp so much as color fixing, because we want access to our both colors. We might need a blue on turn 1 and 2 white on turn 2 and 3 blue on, who knows. Card draw, I'll admit we're probably a little shy on card draw. We have the reconnaissance mission. Before we get into the soldier stuff, I have soldiers, things that make soldiers, and things that care about soldiers. So let's do care about soldiers first. The icon of ancestry. Obviously, we're going to choose soldiers to give them that permanent +1 and get a little card filtering. We have enough soldiers. The odds are pretty good to when we activate it, we're going to be able to find a soldier, right? And they shall know no fear. It's one of those cards you just have to be emphatic when you say it, You choose a creature type, creature of the chosen type, +1 indestructible. This is an anti-board wipe, but we're choosing soldiers. The Yoshin Tactician, soldiers getting +1. The Preeminent Captain, when it attacks, you get to free drop a soldier. The Field Marshal, of course, the good old soldier champion, as it were. Now, the archetype of Courage is a soldier. It doesn't really, it cares about you having creatures. All your creatures gain first strike, as most soldiers probably should. And then, of course, the Veteran's Power Blade. Now, we'll go ahead and throw the Unbreakable Formation in there because it's another good anti-wrath. I don't know that I've ever cast this during my main phase. Let's look at the things that make soldiers. And I'm talking like, yes, we have the Captain's Call that makes 3 of them. But I'm talking about like deploy to the front, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. Now, I play a lot of huge games, and that table over here, there's liable to be 8 or 10 players. That's a whole bunch of soldiers. Entrapment maneuver. Target player sacrifices an attacking creature. You get X soldiers, where that's the toughness. So it's kind of removal. It makes soldiers all good. Mobilization, because why not? Just mana : soldier. Oh, and your soldiers have vigilance. That's a big thing too. How about Gideon Blackblade? Now, he doesn't make soldiers; he becomes a soldier. So why not? Elspeth's Son's Champion makes soldiers, and her emblem is not that bad either. Actually, her -3 in this deck. I'm telling you, this is the perfect. She was meant to lead soldiers, right? And then, of course, we have the Martial Coup, the board wipe that leaves soldiers behind. All right, we have got a stack of soldiers here from all across the history of Magic. The Sicarian Infiltrator. Squad is wild. As an additional Squad 2, as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may pay 2 any number of times. When this creature enters the battlefield, create that many tokens that are copies of it. So this is one of those big mana spells, and when this enters the battlefield, you draw a card. Now, yeah, you're getting a 1/2 creature. It does have flash, so you can dump all your mana at the end of the turn before you, and so it's 3, 5, 7, 9. I mean, and you're essentially paying 2 colors to draw a card and get a bunch of copies of a 1/2. I like it. Ardent Soldier. I bet you. How long has it been since you've seen Ardent Soldier in a deck, right? Ranger Captain of Eos. I hear this one's pretty good. The Yoshin Frontliner. Frontline Strategist. Myrel Shield of Argive. Now this one, attacks, you create X soldiers, where X is the number. So you double up your soldiers on attack trigger. Wow. Cloud Reach Cavalry. It gets +2/+2 in flying as long as you control a bird. We don't really care. I don't want to pay for flying. I mean, you know. Bellus Trapper. Here again, I was looking for a lot of cards, Survivor of Corliss 2, to have just soldier bodies on the board. Dragon Stalker. Now, this is a soldier that not a lot of people are aware of, but protection from dragons matters here locally, since that the commander deck, the starter commander decks came out. The dragon one is by far the most popular, and you know, we just lived through Tiamat, we just lived through Kamigawa Dragon. Anyway, protection from dragons is a pretty sweet deal. Wing Commando, Scrapwork Cohort, Recruitment Officer, Sky Strike Officer, another one from Brothers War. It attacks, you get a token. Tap 3 untapped soldiers you control to draw a card. This is why there's not a lot of actual card draw spells in the deck, is because a lot of our creatures do that for us. The Aven Farseer, Aven Warhawk, Thalia's Lieutenant. Now, most of our token makers make just soldier tokens. They don't make human soldier tokens, but she's a soldier, so. The Dire Stinger, Wingbeat Warrior, Ambush Paratrooper, Stormfront Riders. Now, I love Stormfront Riders. Dust Elemental, a lot of people played, and of course the White Mane Line. But this is the in the middle of those two. It gets 2 creatures back. So, or another creature is returned to your hand from play. You get soldiers, and it is a soldier. Sarah Redeemer, an angel soldier. What? Recruiter of the Guard, Thalico Sentry. Now, I like me some Shadow Soldiers. Yeah. Bremaz. I mean, you want to talk soldiers? Okay. Spectrum Sentinel, Paragon of New Dawn. Now, this is a soldier, and it does grant your white creatures 1/1. So, Warlord's Elite, Aerial Extortionist, Gimpalm Avenger. Now, as you know, with all the other Gimpalms, they are best when not cast. They're best when cycled. Aeronaut Cavalry, a lot of flying. Phalanx Vanguard, Deathblade Elite, Rever Dead. Did you know that was a spirit soldier? Yeah. The Dredge Skeleton Color Shift. It's a, yeah. And then the Zephyr Sentinel. Leaving us with a little bit of removal, not a lot. Scatter Ray, Disenchant, Blue Elemental Blast, and then our favorite Austere Command. Now, for the non-basic lands, I love the Brothers War Old Border Commander decks. All the Commander decks for Brothers War were, of course, Old Border, and they were... now, I lived through the Old Border days, and these are darker than those were. The Prairie Stream, Azorus Chancery, Temple of Enlightenment, Razortide Bridge, you know. Then we've got Fortified Beachhead, Demolition Field, Memorial to Glory, Tranquil Cove, Terramorphic Expanse, Skycloud Expanse, Evolving Wilds, best card in Magic, and Unclaimed Territory. And that is what we have got for deck number 942. I do appreciate y'all watching. If y'all are ever in the neighborhood, feel free to stop by. But we will see you then. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.